So for the past 2 years, we've been sharing a Dvar Torah every Erev Shabbos. As you know, as you see, I am in Yemei Avelus, so I can't really say Dvar Torah. You see the Kriya. Last Sunday morning, my great mother passed away, and I know that many of you have been davening for her. And I thank you profoundly. No tefillah ever goes in vain, and every tefillah that comes out of a Jewish heart, b'kavona, does something. Sometimes we may never know what HaKadosh Baruch Hu did with our tefillahs, but they never sink into oblivion. So thank you, and I just want to share with you who my mother was. So this week's parsha is Chaye Soro. V'yiyu Chaye Soro mea shona v'yesem shono v'sheva shonim. Shnei Chaye Soro. And Rashi, as you all know, very well know, Kulam shom v'latoivo, bas kuf ke bas chof ke bas sheva. And the essence of Kulam shom v'latoivo means tzaddikim know what HaKadosh Baruch Hu expects from them every stage of their life. So when a person lives a very long life, ein yemei ziknu k'mei bagrus, ein yemei bagrus ki yemei narus. But a Jew needs to understand every day along the way what HaKadosh Baruch Hu expects from him right here and right now, lefi hamokim v'azman. Kulam shuvam l'toiva. My mother had a very long life. She was 93, and what a life. By the 15, she was in Auschwitz. 30 family members arrived on Yud Gimel Sivan. That's the day my late wife passed away, Zechroin Levracha. 29 family members were sent right, and she alone was sent left. She was terrified. And she ran to the other side to catch up with them. And a Nazi, a Machshamai, slapped her in the face. He grabbed her by the neck and he threw her a few meters. She fell, shocked, hurt. By the time she got up, she saw no one of her family members. They were all gone. Bal kochacho atu chai. Sadly, she went left. They perished that very same day, and she alone survived. What hashgacha pratis? She went through the war, Auschwitz, Estonia, Stutthof, Bromberg, married my father in Fennenwald under the auspices of the Kloiser Rebbe. And she built a home, and what a home. Baruch Hashem, my parents have 500 descendants. All Yereim, all Yirei Hashem. Many, many of them are great Talmidei Chachamim. And my mother was very proud of her family. She used to say, that's my nakama in Hitler. A shevet. My mother asked that we write on her matzeva, HaKoros HaToiv Beliba, Chedvas Chayim B'kirba. That encapsulates who she was. The happiest person in the world. She had a very difficult life. 15-year-old in Auschwitz, coming to America. Parnassa was very, very tough. We never really had money, but we never felt poor. And we grew up in a happy home. And she was the happiest person I ever knew. Huge difficulties throughout her life. 17 years ago, she had a stroke, a debilitating stroke. She fought to overcome. 2 years ago, she had another stroke, and she never complained. She always was so happy. Usually when you have elderly parents that are ill and weak, it's not very pleasant to be in their presence. They're sometimes grouchy and complaining. It was such a pleasure to be in my mother's presence every day. She never complained. And when she was asked, how do you feel? She always says, I feel wonderful. She used to say, my shoulder hurts, my knees don't carry me, it's difficult for me to read, I have some headaches, but I feel great. That's my head, that's my shoulder, that's my knee, that's not me. I am wonderful. That's who she was. That's the way she lived. And one of the Divrei Torah she used to say over and over again, before we say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad V'Yohavto As Hashem Elokecho, first we say, Ahavas Olam Ahavtonu, Ahavu Rabu Ahavtonu, Oyev Am Yisrael, Haboiche B'Yam Yisrael B'Yavo. How could we really love HaKadosh Baruch Hu when we know how much HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves us? You need to understand and appreciate how much HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves us. And it is only then that you could really love HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'chol levavcho, b'chol nafshecho, u'b'chol ma'odecho. And that's the way she lived. With such an awesome appreciation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's chasadim. She felt every moment how much HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves us. And that is the way she loved HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's what we grew up with. That's the way she was. So, Bezrat Hashem, next week maybe we could speak at greater length and I'll tell you more about my mother and some of the Divrei Torah she used to share with us, because she was extremely learned and extremely intelligent, and he was a Talmud Chacham. But there's a limit to what I could say today. I am in Yemei Avelis. I just wanted to mention and tell you about my mother. So, Rian Elichting Gan Eden, and whatever we learn and teach, Shaliva Shalachem Shalot, should be Lilui Nishmos, she should be a Melitzas Yosher. We should share B'Seres Tevis. We should be Zeicha to Tchias HaMeisim and be as a Moshiach B'Meheru V'Yameinu. Have a beautiful Shabbos, all of you.